guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for those who have subscribed and showed support, and those of you who continue to show support. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider doing so by hitting the subscribe button down below and that notification bell so you do not miss an upload. So today, I think that I think I kind of want to vent a little bit. So as you guys probably know or have seen already, in a previous video, a couple of videos back actually, that I was training a new coworker. Well, this coworker is actually not new. They transitioned from one department to our department. And so I do all of the training for this department. And so this person transitioned, and I trained this person for about a month. Now, when our supervisor told the other employee, to go to their prospective site on so-and-so day, I think it was like the next day or the couple of days that they had to go over to their prospective site and pretty much work by themselves, right? And so I told my supervisor that the person wasn't ready to be on their own. Now, mind you that I trained this person for a month. Now, I know that everybody learns, a different way, kind of in their own time. Some, pick up things faster than others. And I mean, I totally understand that, but my thing is when somebody is telling you the same thing over and over again within like 5 or 10 minute intervals, that kind of gets a little, it's not cool, So if I'm telling this person, this is what it is, you have to do this way, and like literally 5 minutes I say, so what are you gonna, so what happened was, so when I say, okay, this is what it is, this is what you do, and this, right? So I will go to one of the some information on the desktop, a patient information on the desktop, and the exact same thing that I told him, I will purposely find some information so that the person can see what it is that I'm telling them, right? So now, mind you, I done told this person this one thing about 3 or 4 times within 5 minute intervals, and so I go and find some information in a chart regarding to what I have just said. Okay, so I tell this person, okay, we just talked about this. What do you do with this? How would you proceed to do this? Or what are the steps that you need to do, to complete this task with? Excuse me. So that person will sit there like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, I just told you this like literally 3 times, like back to back to back. So, but anyway, I told my supervisor, they're not ready to be on their own. And so my supervisor was like, well, it's too bad they have to be, because, you're getting backed up in your work and they need to get started. Now, the thing is, when I train, I do hands-on training because I feel like you're not going to learn how to do it unless you're actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? So if you training me on the computer, you can talk all day long, but if I'm not physically clicking the button, things like that, then That's useless because when you're talking, you're trying to suck in so much information. Of course, you're going to forget. So, which is why when I'm training, we're going to actually do this. The things that I'm telling you that we need to do, we're actually going to do it. We're going to get a patient, and we're going to physically go through these steps that we need to do. And so, for we may have when I'm training, it may be like 6 people for the same thing. Okay, so I will go find all those 6 people that need whatever it is that they need to be done, and we're gonna do them one by one. And I constantly do this because I want you to get familiar for when you are by yourself, that you can actually say, oh, if I don't remember what you said, I'm like, oh, this page looks familiar. I remember vaguely about this. Maybe give me a little refresher, and then I can remember, right? So this is the purpose of me doing the way, training the way that I do. So meanwhile, I tell her, this person is not ready to be left on their own because they don't have it. And I see that they don't have it. And the main part of our job is doing, we work with MCOs. I don't know if where you guys live or whatever, but MCOs is managed care organizations, which is Medicaid. So Medicaid have the Medicaid plan have so many different, what I'm trying to say, different, oh my god, what I'm trying to say, you know how you have a folder and then you have a sub folder, then you have a sub folder. That's how the Medicaid is in our state. I don't know about, excuse me, other states, but I know in this state they have the Medicaid, and then under Medicaid there's something else, and then under that is something else, right? So part of our job is to do prior authorizations. Okay, so in order to do the prior authorizations, I tell the people that I'm training what needs authorizations. Everything that's gonna always need an authorization, doesn't matter what kind of insurance they have, they will always need prior authorizations. Some of them I said, well, if you're not sure if they need an authorization, submit it anyway. They can only either say it doesn't need one or it's approved or denied. That's it. Okay. If it doesn't need one, just kind of remember what doesn't, or write it down and stick it on your bulletin board so you will know next time, because you will get it again. That particular test or consult or whatever it is, you will mostly definitely get one of those again. Also, as far as like the terminology, I will give him the terminology, and they wouldn't really write it down. Okay, the person would not take notes. They may had maybe one page, maybe a page and a half with notes. But the thing is, the job that we do, you need to take really extensive notes, like on each section that needs to be done. You need to take notes on. They wasn't doing that. And I told them, you need to take notes, because when you get by yourself and you can't reach me or my other coworker, you can go back on your notes and say, oh, right, this is what it's supposed to be. Wouldn't do that. It had got so after a while, I just kind of threw my hands up like, this is not going to work. But anyway, I kind of got off track. So anyway, so the person went over to their prospective site that they were going to be working at after I told my supervisor, they're not ready. It's not going to work. So before the person left, myself and my other coworker, there's only 3 of us in the department, he was still sitting, in my office with me, and my other coworker was on the phone. And I was explaining, I called her and I said, well, so and so is getting ready to go over to their prospective site tomorrow. Do you have any uh information that you want them to take with them, you know? So both of us said, if you don't know, ask. Okay. If you cannot get in touch with me, then call the other one, and vice versa. If one of us is out or something, or working with another patient, and you can't get in touch with anybody, ask my supervisor. Okay. And I told him, we both told him, my supervisor would prefer for you to say, I'm not understanding this, I'm not getting this, you know, I need a little more training. Can you help me, or can you send me back, or something? She would rather for you to do that instead of not saying anything at all. Okay. I also told him, you know my extension. Call me or call my other coworker if you get stuck. Okay. Now the person goes over there the next day. I'm expecting to get calls all day long. Like, I'm just expecting to get calls back to back, because I know that they don't know what they're really, they really don't know what they're doing. I know this. So I'm preparing myself to get these calls, right? So the other person gets over to their prospective site. I don't get a phone call. The next day, I didn't get not one phone call. Matter of fact, I didn't get a phone call for about almost 2 weeks, I want to say. And then I would get one every blue moon. So I called my other coworker. I say, have you heard from so-and-so? And she was like, no. I'm like, huh. She was like, why? They haven't called you? I said, no, they haven't called me. And I know that they need some help, but they haven't called me. And so she's like, okay, I'm gonna check on them, because she was going to go to lunch. She said, I'm going to check on them when I come back from lunch. I said, okay, I'm going to call over there now myself and see what's going on, right? So I calls over there and I say, what's going on? You good? Because you haven't called. If you haven't called, I'm assuming that you know what you're doing. Now, in my mind, I know that you don't know what the hell you're doing, right? That person said, yeah, I'm good. I said, okay, call me if you need me. I said it again. If you can't catch me, call the other person. So they were like, okay, I'm good right now. I'm good. I said, okay. So my supervisor comes into my office and we're talking, right? And I'm telling her, I said, well, so-and-so needs some help. They haven't called me and they haven't called our other coworker. She was like, what? I said, yeah, they haven't called me. And I know for a fact that they need some help. So she was like, well, they've been over there at the other center for so many days. I said, yes, I know. Like I said, I know that they need help, but they're not saying anything, right? So she said, okay. So a week go past. Y'all, I still did not get a call. Okay. So I just say, okay, let me call him and see what it is that he doing. No, I take that back. What happened was I got a call from one of the providers. Now, we're responsible for certain centers, okay? So if the provider can't get in, like say the provider at my center can't get in touch with me, they will call one of the other people, right, to take care of whatever they need to take care of. So this one provider called and she said, Michelle, can you take care of this patient? This patient has been waiting on this for a month or so and hasn't been done. And I'm like, it hasn't been done. I said, oh, okay. So I pull up the patient's information and I see that they need a prior authorization. I think they probably need like 2 or 3 of them. And I said, oh, okay, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it right now for you. So when I hung up the phone from that provider, I was like, hold on. I'm not finna do this. I'm getting ready to call over here and let this person take care of it, because if you don't do it, you're not going to know what it is that you're doing. I calls over there and I say, look, this provider just called me regarding, so-and-so and so-and-so, and they need these authorizations. I need you to get these authorizations done, because the patient has been waiting on this stuff for a while. It was like, oh, okay, I'll take care of it. Okay. So later on that day, I pulled that patient's chart up. I saw it wasn't done. The next day, I pulled up that patient and I saw that it wasn't done. The day after that, now mind you, this is like 2 days later, I pulled that patient up again and still wasn't done. So I called over to the other center. I say, so what's going on? Why you haven't done this patient? That person say, I started on it, but then I started doing something else. Why would you do that if you started on and finish it? Because it has to be done. I done called you 3 days ago to get this done, right? So this was like in the morning. Okay. I called over there later on. No, he called me like later on that afternoon. This was early in the morning. He called me later on that afternoon and said, Michelle, I have been working on this one patient that you told me to do all day. I'm like, what do you mean you've been working on that one patient all day? Y'all, my computer is so messed up. He said, I don't know what to do. I say, so you just pushed it to the side and just let it ride, right? He said, no, I've been doing just basic referrals. So the basic referrals is really simple. Just if they don't need anything, you can just fax them over to where they need to go and mail it out to the patient. That's it. I say, so all of these things that needed authorization, you just was like, I'm not going to do it. Right. And he was like, no, it's not like that. I just, I didn't know what to do. You know my extension. You know your other coworker's extension. You know the supervisor's extension. Are you kidding me? So all this time you've been sitting over there for a month, not doing anything. So I think he was there for maybe 2 months. He was in the department for maybe 2 months. Last week, my other coworker told me, she say, I am going to be off the rest of the week. She was there Monday, but she was like, I'm going to be off the rest of the week because, she got to take care of her mom and everything. And I said, okay. I said, don't worry about it. I'll pick up the slack and get your phone calls. She transferred her calls to my extension and everything. This was last Monday. So she was at work Monday, but then she was off the rest of the week, right? Last Tuesday. Matter of fact, my other coworker, I also talked to him Monday. Right, okay. So Tuesday, my supervisor was at my site, and I was in her office talking to her about something else, and she said, I was getting ready to email you and my other coworker, right? I said, oh, okay, what's going on? And she said, so-and-so will be in another department training to see how they like it. I was like, what? Now, mind you, we all kind of knew that this was happening. Well, that he wasn't getting what he should have been getting. And I was like, what? This is what I did, y'all. So she said, well, the supervisor in that department needed some help anyway. I said, okay. So my thing is, when you know you have other people in your department, you have to communicate, right? I said, oh, okay. So we finished our conversation. I went on back to my office, and the girl that was going to be off for the rest of the week, so I texted her and told her, right? And she said, oh, wow, what's going on? So I'm like, I don't know, but this is what I think, you know. So Tuesday come, you know, I haven't heard anything from the other coworker, the one that transitioned to another department again. Wednesday come, nothing. Thursday come, nothing. Friday come, nothing. Monday roll around again, nothing. It's Tuesday. It's like literally 7 days later. Okay. So I calls upstairs. Now the department that he's in, he has a co-worker at my site that does the same thing. So I called upstairs and I say, give me the extension that so-and-so is at. Because imagine, I wasn't going to say anything. I'm waiting on them to say something, right? I called over there. I said, so you just wasn't going to say that you left the department. You wasn't going to tell nobody that, right? You just weren't going to say to us that you left the department. He started laughing. I said, it's not funny. It's not funny. So I was like, you could have, I said, it's been a whole week. I'm waiting to see what you're going to do. It's been a whole week. You haven't said anything. This fool tells me, y'all, he said, I didn't know it was my responsibility to let you all know that I transitioned to another department. I thought our supervisor is going to tell you that. So the department that he transitioned to, my supervisor is still running that department too. I said, whether our supervisor told us or not, you should have called and said, look, this is what's going on. I'm no longer in this department. I'm doing this now. This fool says again, well, I didn't think it was my responsibility. I said, it's not a point of being your responsibility. It's the point of you being considerate of your co-workers. I'm calling you like every day because I'm, you know, my phone is blowing up because now I'm taking these extra calls. I'm getting at your extra patient calls. I'm getting extra provider calls. And I'm like, is he out sick? You know, what's going on? Now, this is before that I knew that he was gone, okay? I was like, what the hell is going on? So, but then when my supervisor told me what happened, I was like, okay, so he gonna call and say something. Y'all, this fool said, I did not think it was my responsibility to tell you that I transitioned to another department. I said, it's not the fact of being your responsibility, it's being considerate of your fellow co-workers. Because now we got to pick up the slack. We wondering why the hell our phone is blowing the fuck up. We can't get our regular work done. So the thing is, I plan my day out, okay? Every day I do something different. This is how I keep track of my stuff. This is how I keep everything organized. If I know that you're not going to be there or the other coworkers not going to be there, I can plan my day around it. It's being considerate of other people. I'm like, why the hell am I getting all these calls? What the hell is going on? He said, well, I'm sorry. Only thing I can do is apologize. But like I said, I didn't think it was my responsibility to tell you all that I transitioned. Okay, I said again, whether she told us or not, it's not the point of you being responsible to tell us. It's being considerate to say, I am no longer here. So that way we know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Honey, I was just too through. I'm just so outdone. And I'm going to see him tomorrow. We have a meeting tomorrow. And I'm just going to look at him like, really? Really? And then I found out today that the department that he transitioned to again in less than 2 months, he's not doing well in there either. So it's like, and that department is like the department he originally came from. He wasn't doing nothing but answering phones and making appointments. The department that, when he came to our department, is a little more tedious. Now, my coworker that was there before he got there, he saw him walking around all the time thinking, oh, this must be some easy work. I'm just going to go on up to this department. And he got here and found out that it wasn't. So now you're going to move on to another department, which is fairly easy because you're doing a lot of scanning. And you're not doing well in that either. Like, people keep giving you chances, because you could have got fired, but they're giving you chances to, see where you will succeed at. And you're not succeeding anywhere. It's like, really? You can't get no easier than what it is that you're doing now, and you're still not getting it? Y'all. Now, I am so upset because now I got to go through this training thing all over again, which is going to make my work get further behind. And then not only that, the things that he was responsible for was already behind from when our last coworker was there and left. Matter of fact, it was behind when he was there. So now we got to pick up this slack until we get somebody in. We got to take all these extra phones. It's ridiculous. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? But y'all, when he said that, I was just too through. I was so through. I was like, it's being considerate. And just like I told him before, because he, when he first moved over to his site that he was going to be working at, I think he had got sick and he was out for like 3 or 4 days. Now, we didn't know this. So I text him. I was like, are you at work today? He was like, no, I'm out sick. I've been sick for a couple of days. I said, well, you could have texted us and said, y'all, I'm out sick, something. So the thing is, me and my other coworker and the one before that, I mean, it's like, excuse me, it's when you have multiple people working in your department, and if I'm going to be out, if I'm going to be in a meeting, same with the other person, she was like, look, okay, I put in for this day and this day off, for, whatever reason, or, if she called in or I called in or whatever, I'm going to text you and say, I'm not going to come in today, blah, blah, blah. It's common courtesy. So that way, when your shit blowing up, you know why. If I'm going on vacation, I say, okay, y'all, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks. My stuff is clear. But if you get anything, take care of it. If you can take care of it, take care of it. And she does the same thing. It's the common courtesy. What I was trying to make him understand is being courteous of your coworkers. It's not that it's your responsibility to do it. It's just saying, okay, I'm not there anymore. Let me let them know that this is what's happening so they would know what's going on and to pick up the slack or whatever needs to be done. What's wrong with that? Like, really? Is that too freaking hard? But anyway, guys, I think I've been long enough. I've held you guys up long enough. So if you have co-workers like that, Y'all comment down below. Do you think that what I was telling him was right or wrong? I mean, you have to be considerate of other people. It's not that it's your responsibility. So my supervisor did tell me, you know, but it's still, I think it's still being considerate of your other coworkers, saying I'm not no longer there, or I'm going to be out, you know, I'm taking a few days off, or text and say, hey, I'm not coming in today. This is why we exchange phone numbers for things like this. So guys, if you think that I'm wrong, y'all let me know. Comment down below. Let's have a conversation. Cause y'all, really? I was so blown when he told me that. It's like, wow, okay. But anyway, guys, I think I've vented long enough. I need to go in here and do some stuff. I need to be cleaning up, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll probably do that over the weekend. But anyway, guys, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please consider subscribing, guys. It will be really, really helpful. Be sure to comment below. You know, like, let's have a conversation. You know, do you think that I'm wrong? Was I telling him something wrong? Do you guys go through this with your coworkers? I mean, you know what? Let's talk. Okay. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.